I hear you. You know the problem with you little niggas? You think you know everything about the damn world. You don't know shit. Now, I see you got yourself a little business going. Well, that's good. That's good. You make that paper. But when you're making paper, you gotta learn some rules to go with it. You gotta learn the difference between guns and crypto. There are two types of niggas in this world. There are niggas with guns and niggas with crypto. Now what are the guns? The guns, that's the real estate. The stocks and bonds. Artwork, shit that appreciates with value. That's what it's all about. Guns, crypto, baby. You little dumb motherfuckers.
Yo, peace and love. What's going on, family? Listen, I know I was supposed to have this crypto update over the last week, up over the weekend, but with the schedule that I have and extracurriculars and things that was taking place, I'm a little late, but hey, nonetheless, we're here. All right, so first off, I'd like to say, I'm not a financial advisor, right? Everything that I'm going to be talking about, I'm just basically sharing with you the things that I follow, the information that I'm taking in and have been taking in to kind of guide me and my decision making as far as, what I buy and what I do. You do not buy or sell anything based off upon what I'm going to tell you. You always need the DYOR, which is do your own research. Okay. Do your due diligence, and don't just listen to what I'm telling you. Go fact check me. Play rooters out here, man. Go fact check it. Look it up for yourself. Just be sure that you're making informed decisions with whatever you decide to do. Right. All right. So we'll start off by just giving an update on the crypto market in general, right? The market cap is right now is at $2.31 trillion. Of course, we got Bitcoin sitting at the top around 67, a little over 67,000. And, we got XRP down here. It's been ranging over the last week or so. It's been ranging between that 50 cent up to 55 cent range. So looks like it's doing a little bit of consolidating, but we'll see what takes place in the near future, right? So Bank of America warns that gold is the final safe haven as the U.S. national debt rises. Even with paying attention, if you haven't been specifically paying attention to this, I know you probably heard about these politicians and people in the finance sector talking about the national debt. It's probably, I think, around like $34 trillion or something like that. What people say is that gold is always, it's God's money, essentially, right? So you have to look at it as a non-correlated asset. I've posted about non-correlated assets before in the midst of a possible economic collapse, or if a currency is going to fall, whatever. You have non-collateral assets. That meaning that when the market goes down, these things will go up. So that means, gold, silver, all of your precious metals, real estate, things of that nature. And now with this new advent of technology, some say, or some people feel, that it can even be digital assets or cryptocurrencies, or the ones that have utility. So, right. So you can read that a little bit. So it says the bank note that the U.S. national debt is predicted to continue reaching record levels over the next 3 years. Therefore, economic pressure on the country has shifted how gold reacts to macroeconomic developments such as lowered interest rates. Ultimately, the dynamic makes gold an attractive asset, the bank says. Right? So even, I mean, if they lower the interest rates, I mean, that's the thing that's, if I look again, I'm not an economic guru or anything like that. But just the little bit that I've learned over listening to the experts, essentially, if they have no choice, they've raised interest rates, the Fed meaning, in order to basically keep this economy afloat. So now if they lower the interest rates, you don't know what can happen. Where they basically have to keep printing. They have to, if they stop printing money out of thin air, kiss the baby, right? On the economy and the US dollar. But this is the game that they've been playing for a while now. When you have a system that is backed by debt, it's based on debt. It's not based on RWAs, which are real world assets, or actually backed by anything. I kind of detail that in my ebook, which is in the description. You can purchase. It details how we came off of the gold standard, right? So, but you can purchase and read up about that. So moving right along. So continuing to talk about these precious metals, on Market Watch, the commodities corner, they're talking about how silver's scarcity factor is helping it catch up to gold's run. So over the last, well, basically all year, gold has been constantly hitting new highs. And silver has been going up right now as well. Silver, I think, right now is trading at around $34. Right. A great place. I'll probably talk about it. I'll mention it later on, but a great place if you're interested in purchasing precious metals, whether it be gold, silver, whatever else. Uphold is a great exchange. I've got that description. I've had that link down in the description as well. It's a great place where you can trade in between other countries' currencies, precious metals, cryptocurrencies that are on there, and all of that. So, just something to be mindful of. When I know everybody's pretty much, if you're somebody that's a bread and circus type person where all you're focused on is, the entertainment, which I ain't saying that you shouldn't. I mean, it's life. We only have one life to live. So yes, you gotta enjoy it. You gotta partake and make sure that any experience that you can have, hey, have at it. But, in terms of thinking about your future, thinking about your bloodline and longevity for yourself, and look, these are the things that you really should be trying to keep up with all the other narratives and things that are going on, all of the entertainment, the scandals, sports, this, that, and the third. Look, pay attention to what the money is doing, what the smart money is doing, because they're having this basically Ripple Swell, which took place last week. It's an annual conference that the company Ripple is a fintech company who are the owners of XRP, basically. They didn't create XRP, the token or the cryptocurrency or the digital asset. It was gifted to them, but it essentially is the blood or the lifeline of the technology that they use on top of the XRP ledger, basically. All right, so they have this conference yearly. If you read here, San Francisco's blockchain firm Ripple gears up to launch its highly anticipated annual conference, Swell. This premier event brings together visionaries, innovators, and industry leaders from the global payments and blockchain communities to explore the latest trends, technologies, and transformative solutions reshaping the financial landscape. Right? So it's a big deal, because when you get there, there's pretty much the who's who in this industry. Of course, you have Brad Garlinghouse. Brad is the CEO of Ripple. I mean, look here, you have people from the CME group, Coinbase. I'm pretty sure even if you're like a novice as far as cryptocurrency or buying cryptocurrency, I'm pretty sure some of you have an Uphold app on your phone, or have had it, or have looked at it at least. Blockchain Association. You got Stuart Alderati, who is the chief legal officer for Ripple. Bloomberg Intelligence. I mean, look at some of these names in here. Gemini. Where's some of the other ones that I saw? Because of course you're going to see a lot of Ripple employees. But look, the chief compliance officer for Western Union, which is a money transfer service. BNY Mellon. I mean, this should let you know, PayPal, that this is not some trend. It's not some fad. It's not a scam, or you have to be careful of the scams, because there are some scams out there. But this technology is here now, right? So you can't listen to people that are either, in this generation before us that are going to swear up and down that it's the devil, and one world currency and all that dumb stuff. Listen, you're either going to learn about it, educate yourself about it, and get on the train before the train leaves the station. Again, I think I explained in one of my videos, like, this is going to be the greatest transformation of wealth in man's recorded history, and it's the last time that we're going to see it in our lifetime. So it's either you're going to be on board with it and try to see where you can benefit or profit or improve your life from it, or you're going to be sitting here afterwards talking about woulda, coulda, shoulda, or you're going to be like which I already know, some jokers, they're going to be hitting me up after the fact. And yeah, I'm going to be ghost. But moving right along, during the Swell conference, Brad Garlinghouse, he posted, he said, kicking off Ripple Swell with a bang. The RLUSD has been nearly a year in the making, and with our trusted exchange partners, market makers, and advisory board, the RLUSD is set to become the gold standard of enterprise-grade stablecoins, built on trust, liquidity, and compliance. So, if you've heard of Tether, which is a stablecoin, if you've heard of USDC, which is a stablecoin, that are normally pegged to like the dollar or a country's native asset, meaning like a 1-to-1 peg. So that means Tether equals like $1. USDC equals $1. Ripple now has engineered their own, and you have to think that, coupled with the technology I already spoke about as far as the XRP ledger and the XRP token, that trust, liquidity, and compliance is going to be to the max as far as with Ripple, right? If you see here, Crypto Barbie, she says XRP equals digital gold. Right? You have Brett Crypto. He posted here saying, so a substantial price is essential to tackle a multi-trillion-dollar challenge. What he's saying is, you have this thing called Nostro Vostro accounts, right? Because this is Ripple's, I guess you could say, initial or prime directive. And it's not to say that they're not going to try and tackle or take on other verticals as far as, use cases, real world use cases with this technology. But pretty sure any of you have traveled to other countries. When you travel to other countries, you have to exchange the money or buy the money. If you've sent money to other countries, it takes like 7 to 10 business days, and some 6% of those, a lot of times they don't even make it. You don't even know where the money goes, right? But with this technology, you can essentially send money to another place, and XRP, the token, is the exchange. It's the bridge asset, and it can send it there and it can settle it within like 3 to 5 seconds. And understand there's a difference between payment and settlement. I actually just was doing interviews yesterday at my job, and even though it was for a track coach position, the guy he has a substantive background in finance. So of course I just kind of had a little conversation, shooting the shit a little bit. Of course, I'm always going to ask questions, especially when people are in that realm, just to try to get a temperature check. Like, hey, what do you think about this, or what's going on? What have you heard? Blah blah blah. And he basically explained to me that he didn't really have any background in it, didn't really educate himself on it. But what I explained to him, that it was this, what I just said, as far as payment being sent across borders, $40 million being sent, only costing 50 cents and settling in 3 seconds. His face was like, I don't even know if he really could comprehend it, because he's thinking from a legacy, or all of these legacy systems and things that have been in place. He's thinking from that standpoint, and that kind of blew his mind a little bit, right? So just listen to a little bit of what the CEO was saying here, Brad Garlinghouse.
Holding a dollar, you're selling that dollar and buying XRP. You're moving that XRP across the XRP ledger to, let's say, Bitso, who's here in the audience today. You're selling the XRP and you're buying Mexican peso. By enabling that liquidity to move from dollar to peso in real time, you're changing how that oil is greasing the engine of correspondent banking. So for us, in a world of hype, in a world of experimentation, in a world where people talk about the opportunity and with the speculation of digital assets, we feel like XRP is the only digital asset really poised to solve a problem at scale, a global payments problem.
Right. All right, so moving right along. Ripple stablecoin is operationally ready as the firm named exchange partners, market makers, and advisory board for the RLUSD. The firm is now waiting for regulatory approval from the NYDFS. And actually, this was last week, and now just this week, Senator Garrity, I think his name is, just proposed a bill for a regulatory framework for stablecoins. So we're gonna see where that goes. Everything it's kind of, to me, it's kind of funny because everything seems to be lining up. You got the election coming up. You got a lot of these distractions and things coming up. We don't know if a Black Swan event is going to take place or what's going to happen, but it's kind of funny that all of these things are coming to pass right now. And this was said by the president, Monica Long. This is her right here. 2024 is shaping up to be a landmark year for digital assets and blockchain. And this is her with the opening remarks at Swell.
In our industry, we think the headline of 2024, it has been the biggest year of institutional adoption for digital assets and blockchain that we've seen to date. And we think this has been driven by 3 trends. Momentum for global regulatory clarity. Crypto getting validation from Wall Street as a bona fide asset class. Tokenization of real-world assets. And we think this is just the tip of the iceberg. We know from working with financial institutions for many years that what they want is a one-stop shop that provides secure and compliant digital asset infrastructure. And that's what we do.
Right. All right. So, and once they announced that, of course, Uphold was able to come out and say, hey, we are a partner with Ripple, and the RLUSD will be on that exchange. So again, I've got that link down in my description. If you don't have an Uphold account, I do suggest you, if you want to get into this, if you're not into this space, Uphold is a very trusted. It's a trusted and it's a decent exchange. This was from last year, but just want to show you, I'm pretty sure we've all used MoneyGram or Western Union. I can remember the days of when I was back in school, college at North Carolina A&T, and needing to either get money from my grandparents or from my parents, or send money somewhere, and standing in the line at Walmart for MoneyGram and all of that. They have a non-custodial crypto wallet for cross-border payments. After what was just explained, why wouldn't they? Because before, sending $100 in MoneyGram, really, that's going to cost you, I can't remember exactly, but I know it would cost you $15, $13, something like that. Now, you should be able to send this for pennies, as long as they're not trying to be, scandalous. Some companies, they're always looking to try and take advantage of the public if you don't know. So now, speaking of cross-border payments, Stellar, which is another cryptocurrency network, they have a use case for global settlements or global payments as well. Their ticker or their cryptocurrency or native token is XLM, right? And they've got plenty of new payment possibilities or use cases, right? So that's remittances, support payments between individuals to cover everyday expenses, business invoicing, invoice suppliers and other enterprises without pre-funding accounts. That's those Nostro Vostro accounts that I talked about earlier. All of these things, all of these use cases, so it's not, for those that don't know, a lot of times when you say Bitcoin and you say crypto to people, they say, oh, that's, they think you're talking about like what were those things that we used to take care of? I can't even remember the name of them. It's not like a pet rock. It's not something that you just, hold and it doesn't mean anything. These things, this technology is reshaping, the financial world as we speak, right? Case in point, Russia, the UAE, Japan, they're among 8 other countries. What are you talking about? Hong Kong, New Zealand, that are building stable coins on the XRP ledger, right? That they're building, they're doing this. This ain't something that we talking about. Oh, they about to. No, they've done it for real. And the thing is, if they're reporting this to the masses and telling you right here, that means they probably done did it 3 to 5 years ago, probably before that. Now, the UAE Central Bank approves the launch of the AED pegged crypto stablecoin. See, so each country is going to have their own stablecoin. Why this comes? Because the current payment system that's used globally right now is the SWIFT payment system. But as you know, the US dollar is the world reserve currency. But all of these other places, they're tired of the US weaponizing the dollar and imposing sanctions and all of that type stuff. So now they formed the BRICS. So they said, we're just going to cut the US dollar out of it altogether, and we're going to work together with us to have a level playing field. Right? As you see here, somebody says this has the potential to sink the US dollar. Right? The UAE also removed all taxes on Bitcoin and crypto transactions. Look, man, the US keep talking crazy. You got political people talking about taxes on unrealized gains and all that, 40% taxes on unrealized gains. I might be moving to the UAE for real. Here, this was a post by somebody named Smoke Dog. I don't, it's the first time I had heard of him, but he found that he had a nice find here. He pretty much sums this up right here. Excuse me. I don't know who that is calling. Right? But it says, XRP is the real digital gold for banks. Don't take my word for it. Look at the documentation. The former Ripple CTO, Stephen Thomas, banks will have gold that you can teleport into any vault in the world instantly by using XRP. Remember I said gold is like, they consider it God's money. It's always going to hold its value or go up in value, right? The only problem with it was, physically, it's not liquid, right? You can't have it in one place and then have it in the other. But coupled with this technology that's based, it's a trustless system, and once everything is reevaluated possibly doing this reset, the great reset, whatever they want to call it, things will be backed by actual assets, and it's going to be on the ledger. So now we can send. It's almost like we are sending gold back and forth. That's basically what he's saying. In 2013, a marketing brochure for XRP advertised the token as like gold in your hands, and as it was designed to be the most liquid token on the ledger. Right. So if you look at all of this, gold that can teleport in the vault, right? So, and this is 2013. So that lets you know this ain't something new. They've been working on this. And I like this picture right here. You got BlackRock, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. What you all have to realize is you can't really pay attention. You have to take everything that these people say with a grain of salt. I mean, just this year you had Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, in a congressional hearing, basically trying to say that the only use cases for Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, period, is money laundering, human trafficking, and all this nonsense. He bad mouthing it. He was saying that he would ban it. He would do all of this. But lo and behold, JP Morgan, they've got cryptocurrency on their books. All of these players, even Larry Fink, BlackRock. I got close friends that work for a couple of these FIs, these financial institutions or banks. They bad mouth cryptocurrency, but then lo and behold, they're either applying for their own trade fund or ETF, or they've got the cryptocurrency on their books, whatever. You can't pay attention to what they're telling you. You gotta pay attention to what their actions are, right? They're the smart money, the 1%. So you gotta follow what it is that they're doing, not what they're saying. And this was just major events that were taking place. So we talked about, the BRICS summit just started, what was that, a couple days ago over in Russia, where all those countries that I showed you that were building their CBDCs on top of the XRP ledger, all of them, they're talking about, they're basically going to be unveiling or discussing a new payment system that excludes the dollar. The SWIFT event is happening in Sibos. It's taking place right now in China. And the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia FinTech Conference that's featuring Brad Garlinghouse. Kind of crazy. All of these things are happening at once. And I'm going to let you see this little exchange. If anybody watches this and you're in Massachusetts, hey man, make sure you vote for John Dean. I'm not a politics guy per se, but what I do respect is someone that says they fight for the people and they're for the people, and they actually back those words with action, and they look for justice. In 2020, right when the XRP token and Ripple, they were riding high, price was going up. They got hit with a lawsuit by the SEC, who they had been meeting with faithfully, trying to make sure that they were being compliant, this, that, and the third. And they were hit with a lawsuit, which caused the token to plummet down to like 11 cents, 10 cents. Now, if you're somebody that was smart, or if you've been paying attention and doing your research and kind of understanding the moves that this company has been making and what the technology means, that didn't mean anything to it. All you saw was a buying opportunity, right? But it essentially was, or is, the incumbents or the banks kind of panicking about this type of technology, because they're the legacy systems that are in place, and of course you got new technology or innovation coming in that can basically disrupt their way of doing things. Of course they're going go down the aisle kicking and screaming for it. So John Deaton, he's a lawyer. He filed an amicus brief on the behalf of about, I don't know how many XRP holders. I actually was a part of this, where I was able to have a voice in this SEC lawsuit with signing my signature, and he basically represented us and he was able to definitely present a lot of just evidence and have some say in this court case, which lasted over about 4 years, which now pretty much has been resolved. Got a couple of things that are still going on. The SEC is trying to stretch it out, but ultimately XRP has been deemed a non-security, which is what most of these financial institutions are waiting for as far as the green light to go ahead and use this technology. But listen to his exchange between him and Elizabeth Warren, which she's in the past claimed to be some type of champion for women, and she always talking about how she's coming after the banks and making it, but she's no different than any other politician. She's made hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars in her position, probably trading, whatnot. She's in the pockets of the banks.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish. I can't help it when she goes to ban an entire industry that they're motivated against her because they see a viable candidate. But listen, the rules are already there. Senator Warren, you notice she didn't answer the question about those rape victims. You can't call yourself a absolute warrior for women if you only select the women you're willing to protect.
I really don't understand this charge, and I don't know what you're talking about here. I have pushed on the banks and tried to get more regulation over the banks and tried to hold the banks accountable every single time they step out of line. Now, I get it. They're big and they're powerful. Of course, I don't take my money from the banking industry. I take my money from people who want to support this campaign. What I don't hear you talking about is what exactly do the crypto folks expect to get by funding 90%?
You want to know something? Everyone out there, I sued the government because the SEC had done something really bad to small retail investors, and a lifelong Democratic judge agreed with me. I did it all pro bono, and this token XRP was called legal because of my work. I won Lawyer of the Year, Consumer Advocate of the Year, Defender of Freedom Award because I did it for free. And guess what? Last week, that crypto billionaire that she's talking about that has supported me just donated millions of this XRP token to Vice President Harris' campaign. If I didn't do what I did, sue the SEC on behalf of small retail investors, that donation to your candidate of choice, Senator, would not have happened. So, Madam Vice President, if you're watching, you're welcome. I would.
So John Deaton, he in the XRP community, he a legend. For the simple fact that he he was willing to do, like you said, he did all of that for free. Ain't nobody pay him to do that for us so that we could have a voice or have a say in that case. So definitely appreciate it. So if you're in, I think that's Massachusetts, man, you should be voting for that guy. And look, even Elon Musk thinks so. You got Brian Armstrong, who's with Coinbase. Said agreed, Massachusetts residents should vote for John Deaton. Crypto holders in Massachusetts should realize that Senator Warren is the one who got Gary Gensler his job. Gary Gensler is the joker, who's the SEC chair, who, I'm gonna be honest, the guy, he annoys me because they've been asking for clear cryptocurrency regulations and a framework for I don't know how long. And he keeps repeating the same thing, that the rules are clear, but they're not clear. And they just use it. They've been using regulatory clarity by enforcement rather than actual regulatory clarity. So, you see Elon Musk saying yes. And actually, this is the first time that Elon Musk ever uttered XRP. I honestly think that a lot of these people in these platforms, they're either under some type of NDA or something where they can't mention XRP the way it should be talked about.
Given how punitive the SEC has been towards crypto under this administration, do you envision the XRP ledger being incorporated into the financial institutions in the future?
Well, I certainly cannot speak to any specific crypto, but
look how nervous you are. Why you look nervous?
Cryptocurrency is an interesting and probably valuable bulwark against centralized control. This is definitely not an endorsement or lack of endorsement for XRP, but I do think crypto, by its very nature, it helps with individual freedom.
Now he done talked about Dogecoin. He done pumped up Dogecoin, posting it and all that. And then somebody asked him about XRP, and he like, I can't really I can't really speak to one specific count. Like, come on, man. Y'all know what it is. And last but not least, the SEC they actually did file their Form C, which is like an appeal, but it actually did not appeal the decision, the Judge Torres's decision on whether or not XRP is a security. That is set in stone and is the law of the land that XRP is not a security. I think they were just they are appealing, I think, XRP's retail sales of the token XRP or something. So, but it's really just another stall tactic by them. So hopefully all of that will be resolved 100%. So then, because once it does, the thinking is that, you know, that's when all these things will be ready. And like I said, they've laid the groundwork for them to basically flip the switch on the new financial system, which they've been working on and putting together over the last, I don't know, decade and some change, probably longer than that. And you're going to see the new quantum financial system. So you got to get off, you know, get on, you know, get on it. That's all I can say. Get on it. You know, like I said, I'll continue to post, and this is my first video, you know, posting a video like this where I'm doing an update. So I'm definitely going to continue to get better and keep you guys up to speed. So remember, you know, always do your own research, do your own due diligence, and make sure you're moving in power out there, man. Peace and love.